the Africa Export-Import Bank, Nigeria, Angola, S&P Global are among some of the countries and institutions that are lined up to sign multi-billion-dollar deals at this week's African Energy Week 2024 summit holding in South Africa. Arise business correspondent Bosin Mafaya, as I said, on the ground in Cape Town. He sent in this curtain-raising report.
Yeah, the 2024 edition of the African Energy Week is getting started here at the CTICC in Cape Town, South Africa. Quite a whole lot to digest within the week, from the biggest conversation, the just energy transition, and making energy poverty go away across the continent. I'm going inside to find out from some of the delegates what they expect to be on the table in the business week.
The major kick for this year is going to be a rebirth of exploration and interest in exploration, which we are seeing across the continent. I mean, if you look at Angola, for example, Namibia, South Africa, you're looking at significant interest from a lot of players who had actually left the continent. We're seeing people like Petrobras who are coming back significantly, and we're also seeing American mid-sized explorers who are coming back in and looking at exploration plays. We're also looking at the finance players who are coming in significantly over the couple of days, looking at actually financing a lot of this exploration work and other deals that we're seeing in the pipeline. So it's going to be an extremely exciting week. We're seeing deals that are going to be signed. Afrexim is having a couple of deals that is going to be signed. We're looking at the African Energy Chamber signing as well, together with people like S&P Global. So it's really an exciting week which we're seeing for us.
Now, discussions are already ongoing. A number of technical sessions are already being held on the first day of the African Energy Week, and this in particular about deal making within two of the continent's biggest oil and gas producers, Nigeria and Angola. And I spoke to a young Nigerian executive who says he's got $1 billion deal on the table for Angola.
It's actually very interesting to see a platform like this bringing all the African companies together to do business. Like now, it opened a lot of doors for me to go to Angola, Congo, and Gabon to do business there, which they are more friendly and more open to receive people from Nigeria, because we've had experience in oil and gas for a while, and they really want to have that experience because they want to diversify more, have the local players, local content into, the play of the oil and gas, especially like Angola. They have just few local players there. They want their African brothers from all over Africa to come play in the field there. So that's why we're here, especially that's why we're on the panel with all the Angolans and all the top people from other African countries.
We talk about reforms all the time. As an independent, what are you seeing on the ground? Why do you think Angola is interested in a country such as Nigeria with independent players?
Angola is actually was uptight before, even to get in visa and what have you, wasn't that easy to go into Angola. But now, today, they made it, they've opened up ease of doing business. You can get visa on arrival, you can get, it's easier to go into Angola today. You can walk into Sonangol, ANPG, have a conversation. They show you what they have. If you are interested, it's very easy to move, I can tell you, I was in Angola, I was in Gabon, I was in Congo, and I've got things done in less than 60 days, Yeah. And we're about to start doing a lot of business with them.
Tell me about the deal in Angola. How much are you looking at? What are you looking at to invest in Angola, for example?
About $1 billion. Yes. We're investing about $1 billion. We're talking about some producing assets already, and we're talking about some exploratory assets as well. It's combined, yeah.
How soon will you be bringing this investment on board?
In less than 120 days, we will have that. We'll have the deal closed with Angola.
Now, South Africa, the host country of the African Energy Week, has been in the news recently. 7 straight months of no power outages. That's good news for those in the country's mining sector, such as Peter Major. And I caught up with him once again here in Cape Town for his views about the African Energy Conference, as well as the success that the South African government is making.
You're only getting Peter Major's summary of what's going on. I'm not the expert by any means. I'm a veteran. I've been here 43 years in mining. But what do I see in energy? We all see we've gone 7 months without load shedding. That's a big plus. 7 months is a record. I don't think we've gone 7 months with no load shedding in more than a dozen years. Well, less than a dozen, probably 15 years. So that's a big, big plus. And fuel prices, they're going to go up for the first time in, 7 months? Well, that's not great news, but it means they haven't been moving up. You know, our fuel prices have started rising. But negative news is Eskom is pushing hard for a 34% increase in electricity.
Exactly. And I was going to ask you, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, everybody thinks it's crazy. And sure, they need it to pay debt, but where did the debt come from? You know, Eskom never had to do that before. And they've just had, I think, a 13%, 14% increase this year anyway. So if you add 13, 14 plus 37, that's 50%, right? Why should somebody get 50% increase when our inflation's not even 5%? So we know what that is. It's bad management. Talking about bad management, though, the government has loosened the reins on Eskom very quietly. And those are the headlines you want to find out. The quiet ones that government doesn't admit. So people say, why is Eskom now going 7 months no load shedding? Because government has been quietly turning back Eskom's ability to do what they should have been doing the last 10, 15 years that they always did before. That means they can hire and fire whatever supplier they want. They don't have to get a preferred supplier. It doesn't have to be a BEE supplier. It can be someone they know, trust, gives them a good service, competitive rate. So those are the headlines that government's not putting out. They love bragging 7 months no load shedding. They don't want to tell you how they got there.
So far this year, we've seen commodity prices, platinum, iron ore, coal, copper move. Gold remains on its throne this year, $2,800 an ounce. What's your outlook on this? What's pushing energy commodity prices?
There's a big difference between gold and all the other commodities. And generally, we look to gold to be the leader. Well, it's the leader, all right. And it does have some magnetic effect holding up the other commodities. But some it has a great magnetic effect, like silver. Others, it has no magnetic effect, like coal and oil. I think coal and oil are further apart than they've been in decades.
Exactly.
And, you know, people used to say, oh, high gold price, high energy price. So gold gives a positive glow in energy to commodities. And very few commodities are trading below their long-term averages, very few. That means most of them are trading above their long-term averages. Some quite a ways above, like copper, and some not so far above, like platinum and zinc. Lead's trading at its average. But on the whole, commodities are doing pretty well. And Africa is known for its commodities. So this should be benefiting Africa. But if, like South Africa, we used to have half the world's known gold, and now we only produce 3%. Because government got its priorities wrong. They didn't take care of the industry, and it's collapsed, almost dead.
So gold prices, metal prices up. You must be in money this year. You must have any money this year, 2024, my friend.
Okay.
It's been a good year.
It's been a good year, yeah. I will come. For years, I was at these conferences begging commodities just to move. Now they're above the average, yeah.
And just to get it all together, this is NG Ayuk, the head of the African Energy Chamber, speaking in his first interview here in Cape Town, South Africa this week with Arise News. Listen.
What we're seeing here today has been that we had a resounding meeting with Angola and a great session, big They're resolute about producing energy for their people and for the world. But also there was great meetings today coming out of ExxonMobil with a great STEM program that is really going to see how our young people not get to choose between Chevron and Exxon or with Google and Amazon, that you can all do both. But the transition is real, but it's going to be an African-led transition, an African timeline. And that's what we saw with technical presentation coming out of S&P commodities. But also we see Brazil is back in Africa. Petrobras right here, meeting with great regulators out of Nigeria, Angola, Namibia, South Africa. So there is a lot of energy, and this is just a pre-conference. The show hasn't even started tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm feeling tired already, but I got my vitamins ready, and we're pushing on, and we're going to see a great week.
So we've got a whole lot on the table this week for the African Energy Week, and you can watch it all here on the Arise News channel. I am Bosin Namofaye reporting from Cape Town, South Africa.